Mikel Arteta drops major Martin Odegaard injury update ahead of Bayern clash. Subscribe my channel and get daily Arsenal update news. Mikel Arteta walked into the press room with the same blend of calm authority and controlled intensity that Arsenal fans have come to recognize during the biggest European weeks. This is a moment the manager has been preparing for ever since the club returned to the Champions League. Even though the spotlight is firmly on the looming showdown with Bayern Munich on Wednesday, the biggest early talking point was the fitness and availability of Martin Odegaard, the captain who defines the rhythm, control, and identity of Arsenal's modern attacking style. Arteta did not hide the reality. Odegaard has been battling discomfort over the past few days, a concern that forced the club's medical team to monitor every training step with heightened caution. The midfielder felt a minor issue in his thigh area during the weekend preparations, and that instantly became a focal point given how essential his presence is in Arsenal's midfield. Arteta confirmed that progress has been encouraging, but refused to risk any premature conclusions. The captain completed an individual session yesterday and partially rejoined group work this morning. The decision will ultimately come down to how he reacts to the final tactical training plan later tonight. Arteta stressed that there is no intention to gamble with the player's long-term condition, but also made it clear that Odegaard's desire to play is extraordinary. He wants to lead his team into the Allianz Arena storm, and every small positive sign increases the probability of seeing him in the starting lineup. The manager then shifted to provide the latest on the wider squad picture, outlining the state of 4 key Arsenal stars who have been on the medical radar. First is Bukayo Saka, who has been dealing with tightness following successive heavy workloads. Arteta describes Saka as someone who always pushes himself into demanding territory because he recognizes his influence on the team. The winger sat out some early week drills as a precaution, but has since taken part in full sessions. There is still a protective measure in place regarding his contact intensity, though all indications point to him being available. Arteta noted that managing Saka's minutes is one of the biggest challenges for the staff because the young attacker can provide something decisive even when not at peak physical sharpness. The club simply want him to feel as close to effortless as possible when those explosive transitions begin against Bayern. Attention then turned to Gabriel Magalhaes, who suffered a minor impact issue in training at London Colney. The center-back initially experienced a sharp discomfort in his hip area after stretching for a ball, a moment that caused visible worry among those watching. Subsequent scans revealed no structural damage, with the defender responding strongly to recovery treatment. Arteta reassured fans that Gabriel has shown his usual warrior mentality and trained fully on Tuesday morning. He emphasized that Gabriel understands the magnitude of the upcoming clash and has already communicated to the manager that he feels ready. Arteta praised his defender's reliability, calling him one of the most consistent performers in the squad. Next came updates on Thomas Partey, whose availability has been a constant topic throughout the season. The midfielder has been integrating slowly after feeling recurring muscular tension that the medical team wants to completely eliminate. While he has made visible improvement and completed partial tactical work, Arteta insisted that any return must be medically secure. Partey remains in the conversation for a bench role, but Arsenal will only include him if he shows absolute readiness. Arteta expressed optimism, but he also acknowledged that Partey's injury record means caution is essential. A European knockout tie against Bayern is not the environment for unnecessary risks, especially in midfield battles where intensity will be high from the opening whistle. Another player receiving attention is Oleksandr Zinchenko, who has endured a frustrating period dealing with calf tightness. Arteta confirmed that Zinchenko has stepped up his training rhythm and participated in controlled phases of the team session. While the manager praised Zinchenko's football intelligence and ability to influence possession play, he made it clear that Arsenal must take a measured approach. Whether he features on Wednesday will depend on how his body responds in the hours before final squad decisions. The Ukrainian remains a valuable tactical option because of his ability to invert into midfield and help Arsenal dominate central zones against technically strong opposition like Bayern. As Arteta walked through each update, it became clear that the depth and versatility within the squad will be tested, but there is also a sense of confidence rooted in the growth Arsenal have shown under pressure this season. The team traveled through the Premier League campaign with a resilience and adaptability that has sharpened their competitive mentality. The manager believes that the squad now understand not only how to manage adversity, but how to transform it into fuel for big moments. The discussion moved towards how Arsenal plan to approach Bayern tactically if Odegaard is unable to start. Arteta hinted that there are structural adjustments ready to be deployed. One option is to use Kai Havertz slightly deeper as a connective midfielder while maintaining mobility and unpredictability in the final third. Another alternative involves Emile Smith-Rowe, whose creativity and ability to drift into pockets can replicate some of Odegaard's influence. Arteta also mentioned that Declan Rice's leadership and control could help Arsenal maintain stability regardless of who occupies the more advanced creative role. The message was clear: Arsenal are prepared for every scenario. From Bayern's perspective, the anticipation is enormous. They know Arsenal bring a level of structure, discipline, and threat that has evolved significantly from past Champions League encounters. Arteta acknowledged Bayern's strength, but emphasized that Arsenal's identity is built on confidence in their own game. Losses or injuries cannot dictate the mood of the team, especially at this stage of the competition. Every player understands what is at stake and how much it means to the supporters who have been dreaming of European nights like this. Arteta's tone was instructive, firm, and energized as he spoke about the team's hunger. He made it clear that Arsenal have grown from last season's experiences where drops in key moments proved costly. This year, there is a stronger psychological foundation. Players like Rice, Gabriel Jesus, and Ben White have embraced leadership roles, cultivating a dressing room atmosphere that Arteta described as self-driven and fiercely competitive. The manager highlighted how, even in training, the team push each other with an intensity that reflects a deep connection to the objectives of the season. He also addressed the emotional significance of having Odegaard at the heart of this journey. He described him as a beacon for the team, someone whose presence lifts the collective mindset. Whether he starts or comes off the bench, the captain's involvement is invaluable. Arteta repeatedly highlighted his professionalism, dedication, and ability to guide the group through high-pressure environments. But he also reinforced the idea that Arsenal must be strong collectively, regardless of individual availability. The pressure of European knockout football often exposes weaknesses, but Arteta believes this Arsenal side have built resilience through constant refinement, tactical clarity, and a shared belief. The players trust each other, understand their roles, and embrace responsibility. Arteta's updates on the squad were intended not only to inform, but to underline how prepared the team are for whatever challenges come their way on Wednesday night. The manager promised that Arsenal will travel to Munich with conviction, organization, and the belief that they can impose their style, even against a side steeped in Champions League pedigree. What happens with Odegaard and the four recovering stars will influence final selections, but the overall message was one of readiness. Arsenal arrive at this moment with unity, determination, and the desire to write a new chapter in their European story.